The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome and thanks for joining us here at the Real Estate House Party. And we also have Lou Chinappi, multifaceted, multi-talented, eclectic, what?
I don't know. Man
Professional.
About town? Man about town?
Man about town, Renaissance man.
What's he do?
He's done everything in the
Everything.
real estate business
Nice.
world. He's worked for a lender
Yeah.
at one point. Title insurance.
Title insurance
Oh,
company.
that's good to know.
Mortgage insurance.
Yeah.
So he has a wealth of information.
Beautiful.
He was coming up with more information at our seminar than some of the other people that were supposed to be giving us.
Oh,
all
were
the
you at the seminar? How was
Yeah,
it?
it was great. Great seminar.
I was
Yeah.
really sad to have missed
Great
Our
it.
venue.
listeners, 3 out of 4 of us were at our seminar the other day.
Yeah.
I was there.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
She
yeah.
wasn't there.
No,
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I did miss Kat.
Was I noticeably absent?
Yes.
Okay.
There was
Thank you.
Yeah.
She wanted me to put her
Yeah, it was noticeably quiet. Yeah.
in our bar bill. How low was that?
I made up for it in other places.
It was on the demure side.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you to our studio audience. I actually see Ryan Cotton. Can you guys see Ryan in there?
Carter's right
Ryan.
there.
If
Ryan
he's not
Carter's
paying
in there.
attention.
He doesn't care.
He listens. He has everything.
He does not care
your,
about
your
us.
kids are like that? My kids listen to everything. They pretend they're not listening to anything.
But they do,
hear
yeah.
everything.
Really?
Everything.
I didn't
everything.
know that.
Remember in 2002 you did this? Yeah. Yeah. Ryan will remember a game that we went to a decade ago where we sat and everything. So thank you very much for coming to our seminar.
I had a ball. I hope
I heard
hope
he
people
taught
enjoyed
a lot of the class.
He did
He
teach
did.
a lot of the
I
class.
am
did.
so
was great.
impressed.
I did.
Very
Yeah.
impressed.
Yep.
Someone came up to me at the end and said, so you had Tony here. Yep.
Yep.
And he's on your podcast. Yep. Is that how your podcast always goes? I go, all the time.
all the time.
That would have been a hard no for me.
And then she goes, that's very cool.
I thought that was a great way to end the training. You know, it gets a little long and, a
Yes.
little levity at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
And you taught them something while Tony was, you
was being
were the
Tony.
straight man.
Yeah,
Tony was
yeah,
a
yeah.
funny guy. It was great.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to be the funny guy. He was the straight guy. Hey, what do you think First American was? I saw her, because she goes to all the other attorneys' seminars
Right.
when they do it. I'm
No,
thinking,
she's used to us.
well, First American thing, I'm paying for the, or whatever.
Yeah, a shout out to Joanne at First
Joanne
American.
at First American.
She puts up with a lot
She
from us.
does very good.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Luckily, I did my remittances
You
before
did do that there. Now, this is another world for you, and we're way off topic already, but actually, unless you guys have any advice, you've been at last. I got to ask you about Christmas parties coming up, and
Yeah.
the decorum people should partake in, and if there's anything they should keep an eye on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't. Okay, Tony, let's hear it.
Well, for starters, keep your ass off the copy machine. That's
Let me write these down.
Yeah. That's
And that's not just Christmas.
no. That's a good point. But it seems that
I know what
to
he's
come
saying.
out.
Just on December 24th, don't put your ass in the copy machine. Any other time is fine.
The
We have a
Christmas
story about that
parties-
one.
The Christmas parties seem to be a place where people sort of lose all their.
Yeah, sensibility.
There's
That's the
sensibility.
one
Respect.
place that they should keep their decorum.
Of course.
And they
Yeah.
decide, for some reason, they think it's a good
It's
idea.
a good idea to
Yeah.
let loose.
So
yeah.
we
pick
were
up
at
the owner of the company.
Right. We were at a place the other day. Lou, were you at our old parties that we used to have at that place at Meadowbrook?
No,
Wakefield's.
it was the first time I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
So I had a broker come. She goes, oh, I remember your original parties here. She goes, 20 years ago, and she goes,
More 30 years ago, honey.
yeah, I was even more. She goes, I'm still paying the price for it. I don't know what she did. Something was bad. She didn't get into
No,
details.
you had to clear off the whole weekend after a Carter and Coleman Christmas party.
Yeah. Lou, we used to get a ton of loans from those. We used to call them Christmas loans.
Sure.
Because
Our
everyone
fax machine, the
Yeah.
rolly, it just
Slow
go
up.
off.
Yeah.
pumping.
all day,
We
yeah.
call them, here comes another Christmas deal. Here comes another Christmas deal.
It
'Cause
paid
they
for
wanted
the
to go to
party.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more subdued this time, but I thought we had a lot of fun.
I had a ball.
Yeah.
I had a
They were
great
well
time.
received.
Yeah, it was funny. There was a lot of women in that class.
A lot of women.
which-
A lot of women.
And so the laughs were very high pitched, which were
But you know,
it
I'll
was
tell
a
you.
little disconcerting at first.
But I'll tell you, Rick. You know what I did like seeing? There was a varying age group there.
Yeah,
you know,
you're
'cause
right.
sometimes we do realtor seminars,
you're
and everyone's older. We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
like a lot of different.
Yeah, there's a
varying
lot of
age
great
groups. It was
up-and-coming,
great, yeah.
brokers.
Because I had a
Great
few
to
people
see.
email me say, I heard about this. You mind if I come? And I'm new to the business. And
Right.
Yeah, no, it was
and a
pretty
lot
good.
of young loan officers.
Yeah.
and, yeah, it was
Yeah, yeah.
great.
I like to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly.
We
So-
need that.
We all we got all our septic system questions
yeah.
answered.
Yeah.
Good.
He was the big speaker.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
There were more questions on septic
That's what I
systems
mean.
than anything else.
People need a lot of info on
Yeah.
septic.
And Tony, you had a lot of input on septic systems,
Yeah.
which I found very interesting.
Yeah. Well, I know my way.
Bucket.
I know
Never
my way.
mind a septic, right?
I know my way around that area. Here's another holiday party tip. If you see a freestanding glass of eggnog, make sure it's eggnog.
Is this from personal experience?
Just don't take a pull on it before you know
Yeah,
what it is.
you smell it
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
Hey, when
It may be
guys-
recycled.
Hey, when you, I know we're digressing. We're going to
Yeah.
get to Lucas.
He's got a lot of info. Yeah.
But did you live at the same place as Lenny Clark and all those guys?
The barracks.
The barracks. That's what it was.
No, I frequented the barracks,
So
but I
what was-
did not live there.
What was the barracks like
It
for
was
Christmas?
it was like a crack den.
Is that down in Charlestown?
It was in Cambridge.
Okay.
Right off of Harvard Square. I can't remember exactly what street it
So
was.
who lived there? Pretty much. Well,
Kenny
I know everyone.
Rogerson.
Everybody. Kenny Rogerson, Lenny Clark, Gab spent some time there, Martin Olson, Barry Nightkrug. I think Crimmins might have spent some time
Really?
there. Yeah, Steve Sweeney for
I
a
feel
minute.
like we've spent some time there just from the stories.
I know.
That place was mayhem. I mean, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just
Yeah.
it was not right.
What was the age group of?
We were, in our 20s.
Yeah,
At the,
oh, yeah.
At the
Imagine these
time.
guys in their 20s. Yeah.
Right.
I went to a lot of Christmas parties at the barracks, but I didn't meet any of those people.
Yeah. No, it
Didn't
got
you put some white out on the stairs going up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
was
I
real.
did that in the back room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the Comedy Connection, we had an old TV,
Okay.
and I took white out and I painted 2 lines on the.
See which suckers would
Yeah.
fall for
Yeah,
it.
Probably- probably a few.
Everybody. I fell for it myself, and I did it.
Where was this at?
In
The barracks.
No,
No, no.
this was at the back room of the Comedy Connection,
Yeah.
which was the hallway to the liquor closet.
So
which
they
is
had
the-
everyone had to walk.
You had to go through
right,
it, and
right.
it was right off the stage, and it was narrow, like you couldn't fall.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, it had a little shelf.
You could only
and
drop.
Yes, you could just go straight one way or the other. Side to side was no good. Perfect. And we had like an old black and white TV with the
rabbit ears.
rabbit-
we didn't
ears.
even have that where the rabbit ears, where we had a coat hanger.
Oh.
Disfigured
So originally
coat
had the
hanger.
rabbit
Yeah,
ears.
yeah.
Yeah,
And with
yeah.
a little bit of tinfoil on
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
Did that really work?
I don't know what we watched. I don't,
Right.
it was, back then we never, but yeah. So, and that's where you'd wait to go on. So,
And they were so psyched to see the 2 white
Oh,
lines.
people would walk
Yeah.
in, you'd see their eyes go wide, and I'd go,
Nice. My show's going to be great
This is a
tonight.
great party.
Right.
So speaking of seminars, we're going to have one at the end of January. You're going to have to check out our website. She's looking at me like she doesn't know anything about this.
I don't.
What-
Hopefully I'm not
where
on
are you
vacation.
gonna be in?
I don't know yet.
What state will you be in? What state will you be in when that happens?
We're talking about that
How
today.
was Vegas, by the way?
Crazy.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you stay?
At the Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, very nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah.
Great
See any
food.
shows?
Yeah, we went to see Barry Manilow.
Oh, her name was Lola.
She was a show. He was great.
I'll bet he was.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
Old.
Is he like a puppet?
He looked
He's like a marionette.
he looks like a mannequin.
Yeah, he
Has
had
he
a
done
lot
any
of
work on his face at all?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
Rick, there's an edit feature on this podcast.
No, there isn't.
Did he do a medley of his commercials?
No.
Really?
No, he did a lot of Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
And he was just fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. And
great performer. Great
But what I
showman.
forgot to tell you guys is the girls sitting behind us were like Mrs. Americas or Ms. whatever. They were in a beauty pageant in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So me and Paula had the prettiest girls, a row of them. There were about 20 of them behind us, and they were all more gorgeous than the next. We were like, forget Barry. So tell me, like, what?
So you were saying that you got upgraded. Your seats got. Is that because they thought you were one of the girls?
Oh, Lou, you're good. You're
Maybe.
That was sweet.
They were adorable.
Can I tell
and-
you about my neighbor? He runs Miss Massachusetts and is part of Miss America. So I always have those same people across the street from me all the time.
Yeah, they were all.
I'm not invited to their Christmas parties
Some of them are
anymore.
married. Some of them are married.
I was invited.
I didn't think there was a copy machine there, Rick.
That's why I'm not invited
He
anymore.
has a portable one.
Was this a Mrs. America? Or
Well, they were. Some of them
older?
were married. No, they were young,
Young.
like in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
But they were
Lou,
from
that was a
all
good
over
line.
all over the country.
Yeah.
You know, so
You don't
in
have
the
to- you don't have
Midwest,
to
you
be
might
single.
get married when you're 20.
Right.
You don't have to
No,
be single
nope.
to be a Miss America.
So
You
one
don't?
girl.
No.
No.
You don't have to be single to be good looking.
What's
Yeah.
the?
Right.
Yeah, but isn't the Miss part? Oh,
Well, I don't know what pageant.
I don't know.
Now
what's
you're
right
technical.
anymore. Now I don't know what's right.
Now you're
anymore.
starting to read into
Isn't
things.
it Ms. America? I don't know what it is.
But we're like, in 30, 40 years,
Yeah.
you guys are going to look just like us.
Yeah, right. There's no.
This is what
escaping
you
it.
have to look forward
Yeah,
to.
no escaping. You know, at the seminar, I'm so wigged out. Like on one, like in a group, I'll say anything, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
We
Well,
heard.
that's your job.
Yeah, it's what I do. But there was a nice woman, and I think she was on our podcast at one point.
Okay.
And she was talking to me, and blah, blah, blah. And she said, I'm 60 years old. And my instinct was to go, wow, you look fantastic. But I go, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say
You
that.
can.
Oh, you
At
can do
60,
that.
Can you do that?
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
you look great.
The worst line is, "Oh, you were very cute in high school."
Ah,
That's bad.
That's
We
not
actually
good.
had an employee
Oh, yeah.
ask somebody else in Rick's family. She was very
Don't
drunk.
give it too much
I
information.
won't. But she's very drunk, and she goes, "Were you pretty in high school?"
Yeah.
Now, how
And
do you-
that was like
how
30.
do you run with that one?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, was she ugly now? And
or is
wants
she
to know.
pretty now and still pretty in high school? Or
We're not supposed to notice any of that, right?
Oh, I
Right.
don't notice any of
No.
that.
I don't
And the thing is, like, when someone loses a ton of weight and they say, "You look great," well, did I look like crap before?
Yeah, let's face it, you did.
All right,
I
so
mean,
no other,
nobody wants to say it.
all right, so no other tips for Christmas holidays. I think we're good on that.
Right.
And
No more tips.
I think we're good.
If somebody
Might think of
shows
one.
up at a Christmas party and
Yeah.
they hand you a gift
Yeah.
yeah,
and you didn't bring them a gift, should you feel bad?
yeah.
No.
No.
It's all about what comes from the heart.
Oh,
right.
okay, yeah, that's how we are these
Yeah,
days.
I don't know who you're supposed to give gifts to.
You know what I'm doing? Not getting anyone a gift.
That's a
You know
good
what I'm
idea.
doing? I'm dropping something off on the 24th at all the neighbors because they won't have time to get me anything.
That's a good idea.
That's what I'm thinking there.
Right.
So, Lou,
I give
Yes.
out good advice. That's what I
you give
do.
out good.
That's my gift to you.
All right. So here's
So
my.
what's Lou do now?
I work for Arch Mortgage Insurance,
What do they do?
PMI, private mortgage insurance.
Nice.
Yeah.
That good to have.
We're helping a lot of Americans get into homes.
yeah.
So let's
So
give,
here,
let's give
let me
Tony
give you a little
the reason
Let me
why.
give you a little introduction on
Yeah,
what's going these
yeah.
days. It's still a little hurtful for the buyers. All right. Seller prices maybe not quite as much. They're still going up. Low inventory.
Yeah.
High interest rates.
Yeah.
The only thing that can save them now is there's a misconception. Everyone thinks, oh, you need 20%
Right.
down to buy a
right.
house.
Right.
That's not true at all.
Not true.
Not true at all. And
Because of Lou.
because of Lou.
Well, and I'll tell you, rent is so expensive.
That
So
was the other
that
one.
really
Right.
doesn't seem to be an option for a lot of people because
Right.
you could probably own a home for less than you're paying for rent. So
Exactly.
if you can come up with that minimum down payment, you can move into a house that you own and start building equity immediately. And I know a lot of people are worried that the market's going to go down a little bit. But when I bought my house, the market went down before it went up. So, the market is always going to
yeah,
fluctuate.
but what did you buy it at when you bought your house?
I think I paid $139.
Exactly.
For it.
So
Yeah.
you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So even if it went down a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're coming around there. So.
Yeah.
And so, and what's the benefit of PMI?
So basically, one of the biggest obstacles to home ownership, Tony, is down payment.
Is the 20%.
Right.
Putting 20%.
So when we were growing up,
PMI
all our forefathers said you got to have 20% down,
right.
so you don't have to pay mortgage
But
insurance.
if the price of the house is
yeah, they were buying the house at that time at $100,000. So
$700,000, you'd need $140,000.
Yeah.
misconception. I got a lot of this from your website is that you need a large down payment. They all think it's 16% or more, but in truth, first-time home buyers only pay an average of 7% down and may qualify for down payments as low as 3%. In some programs, 1%.
Right.
So,
And MI is so inexpensive now. We were talking about that
It
at
used
the
to be
seminar.
astronomical, right?
Because,
And it was your only way to
Right.
get that house.
right.
because when you think about it, your risk seems to be going down a little bit in the last few years.
risk goes down, and now MI, just like everything else in the mortgage industry, is risk-based. So it's based on
Right.
the consumer's credit, their debt ratio. So you could really. I was helping a loan officer last night that was doing a jumbo mortgage. It was a $1,192,000 mortgage that the borrower was putting 10% down. Anyone want to take a guess at what they think the monthly MI was?
I'm going to say $300 a month.
$139.
No.
Wow. And I went a little high.
Yep.
Wow.
$139.
So doing that quick math you just gave, so they're literally taking out a mortgage for about $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they can probably afford.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So they can probably afford the $130.
And do you roll that into the price of
They're
That's
going
a
to
good
pay that
question.
monthly. That was a monthly amount.
That's a monthly amount.
So you can do single premium
above
or
and
monthly.
beyond
Right.
their mortgage?
Taxes and,
And we
insurance.
find most people do monthly MI now because it is so inexpensive.
Right.
And at some point, if it's an owner-occupied single-family property, they can cancel it. So on that particular buyer, they probably had enough to put 20% down, but a lot of people use it as a money management
Yeah.
tool. You want to keep some money in the bank, you want to invest it, maybe
Yeah.
you want to make some improvements to the house. You can put 10% down, pay that little bit of money each month,
Right.
get into the house and make the improvements that you need
And the
to do.
PMI basically guarantees if something goes belly up with the house that you'll take care
Well,
of
that
it.
you don't make your mortgage payment.
Payment.
The
Right.
MI.
So-
different than
so-
life insurance, right?
Right.
It's mortgage insurance.
Right, so MI
So there's
protects...
no payout to the buyer.
Right, it protects the investor of the loan in the event
Right.
that the borrower defaults.
The lender.
I see.
And it allows the lenders to make more loans.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
which
So
is great.
let's do some math. So say way back when
Oh,
you're
I hate
buying a
math.
I know. I'm gonna make it.
It was my understanding there would be no math.
Quiz at the end. You're buying a house for $300,000. You had to put down, or thinking you had to put down 20%, which was $60,000. But instead, they were smart enough to get mortgage insurance because they couldn't afford the 20% down.
Right.
But the myth was, I don't want to pay that much money. So you're saying $150. Let's just make that up, or let's say $200 a month. So that's $2,400 a year. You're probably going to have your property go up more than $2,400 a year. So if you keep sitting on the sidelines, still keep waiting for that 20%, you're going to lose on all that equity.
And then at some point, if the market, in a great market, you can call your lender and say, can you do an appraisal or can you waive my...
You call the servicer of the loan and have them take a look at
So
it.
how do they get rid of that?
when you have 20% equity in the house.
I know, but then is it automatic?
At 78%, when the borrower pays the loan
That's
down to
automatic,
78% LTV, it's automatic that the MI is going to drop off. But at 80%, they can go to their servicer and apply to have it dropped. Which
And is that a fairly new concept at 78%? I thought that you had to call or the lender wouldn't, like way back.
no, I've only been doing this 9 years, and it's always been automatic at
Okay,
78%.
okay.
So
I guess
whatever
I didn't
happened
know
before
that.
9 years ago, I don't know.
Right.
Some lenders are actually telling their clients don't even do an 80%, do a 78% because they...
Nope, they're telling them to do instead of putting 20% down, put 19% down.
That's what I mean.
Because they'll get a
Yes.
better interest rate
Yes.
from the
Oh.
agencies. Because Fannie and Freddie, who are buying the loans, are sharing that risk with a company like Arch Mortgage Insurance. So when they're sharing the risk, they can...
The rates go down?
Right, the rate can be a little better.
that's a very good
Yeah,
tip,
a lot
so-
of... In fact,
Oh,
one of
that's a
the
secret.
Yeah,
realtors,
that's a little
one of the
secret.
realtors at your seminar asked me that question. They said, I had a borrower with a lot of money, and the lender instructed him to do a 19% down loan. Why was that? And we explained it to her, and she was like, "Oh, I wish someone had explained it to me during the process because I was a little upset
Well,
about it."
here's a serious question, kind of.
Oh, I thought you were calling Siri.
No, no. Siri, what's my question?
And then what's my answer to my question?
Answer to my question. Now it's gone.
No, you couldn't have forgotten that quickly.
No. Is this information readily available to regular people?
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't know any of this.
If you go to archmi.com, there's a lot of resources there for consumers. We offer consumer education for complimentary consumer education for home buyers.
Right.
There's a lot of information
You
on our
actually
website.
do. I was checking out your website. A lot of articles.
The other part to that, Tony, is if you went to buy a new home, you should have a educated loan officer that's going to say, listen, we work with Arch Insurance, PMI,
right.
And this is what their programs that they're offering.
I see.
So your loan officer should be educating you because you wouldn't.
And do brokers know this?
Because a lot of them don't know
well?
that tip about that 20% versus 19.
I do a lot of real estate broker seminars. We do lunch and learns. Like a loan officer will bring me in, we'll go into an office, and we'll teach them about PMI, and we do the basics of it.
What'd you call your lunch and learns? You had it before COVID. We were about to start doing
something in brews.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to do hops and homes at the breweries.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Let's get
those
that
were
back.
fun.
Yeah.
Business and brews.
Yeah.
We'll wait till Kathy's back in Vegas so we can save it a little bit on the
Exactly.
dollar bill.
It has occurred to me, listening and talking about all this, this whole thing is like Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is just,
It's a crapshoot.
It's just a crapshoot.
Yeah. But Kathy
you
makes,
gotta- you gotta be
a really
educated.
good point. You need to work with a loan officer that's really well versed in all these things. They'll find out if a single premium or a monthly premium is going to be the best for you, and they need to ask you a lot of questions in order to find that information out, and they can run different scenarios. Our website allows them to price a loan with all the different scenarios that they can possibly do, and then they can help you to make the best decision.
Yeah.
So work with a reputable loan officer.
So the people who are repping the house, would they point people in your direction too, or should they?
For realtors, no.
Yeah, no.
They don't really have the. They don't really deal with MI enough. It's really the loan officer.
It's on a chain. No, because
They should be directing them to a good lender,
A lender,
that knows
and the
about
lender
this.
Right.
would know
Because
that.
that's who Lou
food
deals with
chain
directly.
is a very.
And we do some training for realtors as well because we
Right.
want them to have a basic understanding, but we
'Cause
don't want
most of them are
realtors.
scum.
We don't. No.
No, you can't say that on our podcast. You can't say that. You can't say that on our podcast.
Where is that?
Not the ones we deal with.
Trigger.
Not the ones we
We
deal
had
with.
we had
all these
80 of them in a room Friday. They were all lovely.
They were lovely people. I didn't mean them. I didn't mean them at all. No.
Realtors have enough to deal with on
All right,
on
please
a
strike
daily
that
basis.
from the record.
So the only thing that
This isn't live, is it?
Yeah.
MI is definitely a product that the loan officer is going to work with the buyer on.
So the
Realtors,
realtor works with a reputable loan officer, but the fact that they even know anything about private mortgage insurance is good because if a buyer comes and they may not qualify or they're like, oh, I really love this house,
But I can't
come up with $140,000 down
Right.
payment.
Right.
Then they'll say, listen, you have to call John. John works, has great rapport with.
No, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge tool for a buyer.
and every consumer should have his team together before they even
Without
go
a doubt.
look at
Very
that
smart.
house.
If
They
there's
should have their
one thing we
attorney.
harp on,
Yeah.
and this podcast is get your ducks in a row.
Well, you know,
Right,
so I'm
you're
going to
right,
go off
you're
topic for a second, but like we've had buyers call us. They've already signed the purchase and sale agreement. They're in a binding contract. So it's tough for us to jump in there.
Not only the purchase and sale, not only the offer, but they've already signed the application with a lender. That might be one of these. Not that these website lenders are bad, but they might not be giving them the same consultation as a local lender about that. One of those tips there.
So just as a point of information for our listeners,
Yeah.
and really, it should go, I'm thinking about buying a house. The next call should be to a lawyer, to Rick Carter.
Exactly.
At Carter
Or
Law.
me,
Or you.
if you can find me.
Well, Rick will give it to you because you do all the work. We all understand that.
2 days a week.
2 days, but you get a shitload done.
I do.
She's the best 8-hour-a-week person I've ever
telling
seen.
you.
I'm turning into a travel agent.
You know, if there's one thing that the pandemic has taught us, it's not time. It's efficiency.
Right.
And if you can do all of that in 8 hours, God bless you. You should do
8
whatever
hours.
you want.
You know what the latest trend is? Workations.
What is that?
What's a workation?
I think I'm interested.
Workation.
If
Oh, you will go to Aruba and work from there.
There you go.
Yeah.
He just figured it out.
Yeah. During the pandemic, Aruba was actually offering incentives for people to come live there and work from Aruba.
So, Rick, are you okaying
I'm
those
thinking
for
of it.
our office?
I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
Lou, you'll have to hear our show on staycation at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's old, but
Yeah.
it's still.
So
It's
we
still.
might have to bring that one
Yeah.
back.
an
Maybe in the
oldie
beginning
but-
of the year.
Yeah, oldie but
I love
goodie.
it. I love a staycation. I have one at the end of the year.
I think we threw out the word, and for 30 minutes we talked about the benefits of going to staycation. We had
To Bill Ricca.
right. We had a souvenir shop by the end
Sure.
in the person's living room.
Yeah.
Different T-shirts they could buy.
Yeah,
sure.
And then you
Nice.
could
I went away on
take-
staycation.
Jason,
All I
I went
got.
all the way to my living room, and all I got was this crappy mug.
30 minutes of that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So you call a lawyer first.
yes.
And then the lawyer would hook you up with somebody,
Real estate
a real
agent.
estate agent.
If you
And
don't
then-
already have one.
If you don't have one. And then the real estate agent will get you a lender. And then
If
the
you don't
lender,
already have
If
one.
you don't already have one. And then the lender will point you to Lou and
Yep.
Arch.
Exactly right.
AMI.
Yeah.
And then
Jeez.
all your ducks are in a row,
Right.
and you can move in next Thursday.
Wow, you picked that up quick, Tony. Good
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. I only
It's
look,
only been 8
I only
years.
look dumb. I hide it. I only look like Thuggy the Elf.
But the point is, a
Well,
lot
the bank
of
robber hat helps.
Yeah. Are you having Christmas problems? Well, you need Thuggy the Elf. One of your kids is acting up. I'll come have a talk with them. Don't you worry about it. Supply train problem, no issue.
At the end of your talk the other day, I was going to say, and he does do Christmas kids parties too.
I do. I try to be on my best behavior when I'm around there. I mean, because in my head I'm going, no, don't. These are nice people. These are not my regular friends.
You had a few woke conversations that night.
We did, yeah.
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 Talking about
I'm very
you
woke.
have 2 kids. One
Yeah.
one looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because in my business now, everyone's very sensitive.
Yeah, you
Triggered.
have to be woke.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we've got triggered on this podcast, but,
Rightfully so.
And I don't think so.
No,
but
I'm
anyway,
kidding.
I
I'm
know.
kidding.
someone's always going to be triggered by something that comes out of your mouth.
Right.
Right?
But, yeah, so I have taken, when people ask me about my kids, I will always say to them, I have 2. I have a boy-looking one and a girl-looking one. And that's all I know about them. I don't know how they identify. It's none of my business. I've never asked. I know my daughter doesn't like to identify as my daughter. But
Yes, she does.
But I think that's more of a me thing than a gender thing. And you can understand it. I'm not right in the head. And everybody knows it.
So we do have some sellers coming up, seller seminars coming up.
Oh, nice.
So
Will I be in on those two?
Oh, absolutely. You're.
Am I
you're-
invited?
You are.
Or is my cutout coming?
I don't know. It seemed to go pretty smoothly without you last week.
That's
You
great.
were missed.
The bill. That's
Yeah.
what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But we're also we'll do a finance class
Yep.
at the end of January. We're already
Right.
deciding this beforehand.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring some, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there as far as, especially with the change. And you hit on one very good one there at the seminar, where people should, and my point is always to try to be proactive instead of reactive.
Right.
Especially in this climate where rates are all over the place. One day it's 4%. I was looking at a website today. Oh, it was put together about in 2021. We're predicting the interest rates to be in 2022 almost up to 4%. I'm thinking, you kind of missed that one a little bit.
Oh, I went way
But-
over that, didn't it? Ooh.
But if we were going to wrap up and sum up what we're talking
Yeah.
about today is it's nice when a real estate agent and a seller's attorney, real estate attorney
Yeah.
and a seller's attorney get together and negotiate a purchase and sale agreement
Right.
that know each other and
Yeah.
work well together.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they're both very smart.
Right.
And one will give a little and the other one will give a little and take a little, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and you have real estate agents that, Carter Law Office, I love working with them. Let me
Right.
call Kathy or Judy or Sherry or Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, just to let everyone know, I'm just a figurehead, Any purchase sales, Tony V does.
Yeah, I do.
And
all
once
of
he
those.
gets all the purchase sales done, and
I
you
take
give
it from
then
there,
you
yeah.
take it from there.
Yeah.
And,
but my point is that when the real estate agents know each other,
Yeah.
they work very well together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when everyone
It's a
knows each
team.
other, that's my point.
It's a team.
It's a team.
Yeah.
And then if they run into a financing problem with their online lender,
Yeah.
we know, oh, what was he looking for? He was looking for an FHA or whatever. We go online and we're like on the list of every single one of those lenders, right? I'm
Yep.
like, let's call our friend John, or
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? And
yeah.
Right.
so we'll look for your lender for you
Right.
if you haven't already gotten a lender.
But and the bottom line is, and this is completely serious, don't sign a damn thing until
Right.
you have an attorney.
Didn't your
Right.
parents always tell you that?
Yeah, because once, that and
that and a couple other things.
always use a payphone. Yeah. Never put anything in writing.
Yeah.
Know where the exits are. Sit with your back to the wall.
And never sit on the copy machine.
No,
Yeah.
never sit on the copy.
And know where your pants are at all
And
times.
always know where your pants are.
Yeah.
In case you have to get to them
right,
real quick.
right.
Yeah.
And if you fall down during a show,
Yeah.
and looking like you're having a heart attack,
Yeah.
you're not
I'm
having
not-
a heart
no,
attack.
yeah,
all
it's
right.
real,
So there's a
yeah.
lot of
And
tips.
the other thing you want to remember is don't worry about putting that 20% down. We have options for you.
See, Lou always just
Lou always brings it
rolls
around.
it
Beautiful.
back,
That's a
pulls us
perfect
back
way of saying
in.
it. Right.
All right, so our show flew by.
That was
but
good.
we're
But the
gonna-
thing is, like, we need to have Lou back, right? Because
We're gonna-
there's
Of course we do.
something that
we're going to have
Lou's
Lou
doing.
back, and then we also have to tell our audience that Lou is going to be, and we'll pick a date for January, finance, and we're going to get some very seasoned broke lenders.
Yep.
And have Lou give us his tips. And I think a lot of the buyers are going to be able to have a lot more ability to purchase
Right.
with your information.
Well, then
Perfect.
and then sometimes that'll make the buyer think when they think that they can't, and then
Right.
they listen to your seminar. They think that they can.
Exactly.
So, woo!
Wow.
That's a lot.
Woo.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I know I wasn't supposed to talk. How was I?
No, you
today?
did great.
Okay.
Are you
Great.
kidding me?
Okay. You did-
Especially from coming back from Vegas.
For
Yeah.
being hungover and still drunk
Yeah.
at the same
I
time.
know.
You're doing wonderful.
And having
Yeah.
bells in your head and
Yeah.
Barry Manilow
Wonderful.
songs.
Yeah.
You did. Really
Oh,
well.
Mandy, you came and you gave without taking.
It's like I'm there.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that song.
Yes,
You
are.
blocked it out.
You're a secret Barry lover.
Well, Lou Chinappi, thanks for coming
And
Hey,
so
in.
are
thanks
you.
for having me on
so
the
is
show.
he.
It was very good.
Our Renaissance man, Tony V.
Yeah, it's nice to see you.
Yes,
Thank
Merry.
you for coming. And,
Merry everything.
And Tony's off to some bank right after this. We won't say what the hat's for, but
Can I come?
Yes.
Kathy Holtshouser, paralegal extraordinaire, thanks for coming back for a week, and we'll see you in like a month or two. And
Yeah,
appreciate
okay.
all your help. This is Real Estate House Party. Thank you for everyone. Now everyone's standing for us. Thank you very much, Ryan Carter. I don't want to name everyone in the whole studio. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week
Murphy.
here on the Real Estate House Party.
Beautiful.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.